followers, and welcome back to MrMFretwell Plays Minecraft. And what have we here? And where am I? So these are probably two questions that you may have, and I'm about to answer them. So the first one I will answer is, where am I? I am, I guess, north? Is that north? That's west. I guess I'm west then of the Mesa biome. The Mesa is that general direction, and I'm out here because there is a flower forest out here, as you can see here. And why have I come all the way out here to this flower forest? Well, to build a flower farm. Now, this is a flower farm. I will link the design I actually used in the description. It was made by a guy named Koala, and it's a pretty good flower farm. I've gotten quite a few flowers from it, as you can see. However, there is one fundamental flaw with this farm, and it's nothing to do with the design. It's to do with the way flower forests are made, essentially. So, I created it here because we're in a flower forest biome. So, you would think that I would get the tulips and those, whatever they're called. What are they called? The alliums and some of these other flowers around here. Maybe not the two tall ones, but all the one-high flowers. The azures over there. But it turns out that that is not the case. The only flowers I can get from this farm are white and orange tulips. And I think I got some red as well, very rarely. So, the thing with this farm is that I didn't know, is it's clear to me that whatever block a flower generates on, or maybe in patches, is where you can find those flowers. So, for example, if I drop some bone meal over here, you'll see I got an allium. But if I bone meal in here, there's no allium to be found. And I've chewed through quite a lot of bone meal, so my testing has been very thorough. It's just a bit weird. I was not aware of this. And I could move the farm, but if I moved it over there, then I wouldn't get the tulips. So I assume it's just a way that the flower forest biome is coded, and there's not anything I can do about that. So this whole project was kind of a bust. Coming all the way out here to 7,000 on the Z was just completely not worth it by any stretch, unfortunately. But there's not a whole lot I can do about that. We built a flower farm. If I ever decide I need flowers, then I can go ahead and get them from here. I'm actually going to go ahead and make my way back now to the main base with these flowers and some of the other bits and pieces I've been carrying. And we'll go work on something else. So not the best of starts for me, but that's okay. Every now and then you might have a project that's a bit of a bust, but that's how you learn things. So the actual design itself works. I guess we can take a look at that. It's really loud, but it basically passes the grass blocks between the two. It's almost like a mini shifting floor where these pistons push it to one side and back again. And there's a bone meal dispenser in here, down there, as you can see, that dispenses bone meal onto these grass blocks, so we get seeds and flowers from it. This can be built in a flower forest, supposedly for the flower forest flowers, and they could also be built in the swamp biome for the orchids, but unfortunately it seems like there was some issues that I was not aware of, and this may be changed in a future update as well. So I can't really 100% say for definite that that's always the way it's going to be, or whether it's a bug that exists or not. So for now, I'm just going to have to leave it, and I'm going to make my way back to the Mesa biome, and then through the Nether portal, and then I'm going to make my way back all the way to the lab base, which is where we're going to do the next couple of projects today. And just want to check this ravine really quick, see if there's anything cool in it. Not really. So I guess, are we going back the right way? Yeah, we're going back towards 0 this way. So I'm going to go ahead and head back to the lab, and then I will see you over there. Okay guys, so I'm back in the main base here, and I'm in the storage room right now. And what I would like to do for the remainder of today's episode is actually work on a few projects that have probably kind of fallen by the wayside in recent episodes. Just little things to, you know, kind of finish different areas off around the base here. So, first off, this corridor, it needs finishing. I don't have the quartz to do the stairs right now, but I can just use cobblestone stairs or something like that. I would really like this staircase to become more functional than it currently is. At some point later, I will go quartz mining for the stairs. The second thing I would like to do is the floor here. So, the floor... the glass floor needs doing. I've been talking about this for a while to stop slimes from spawning, so I definitely want to get on with that. By the way, I am on peaceful. I thought so. I saw my little hearts vibrating there. I've been doing some testing lately, and unfortunately we don't have a feature to lock world saving at the moment, so I always forget to turn it back to normal. But we are on normal now, so that's good. So the next thing I would like to talk about is a project or two over here. So first off, we're going to go over here and take a trip to the dark room. Right on through here. So my control room here for the dark room does not yet have a door, so I would like to set up a piston door for that. I would also like to, if we come on back through here and walk over towards the entrance, work on a few things over here. So I want to finish up the fish farm. We never really did that before, so I would like to do that now. Go through here and then through here. You kind of see it's not finished. Just lots of sort of unfinished stuff in here that I would like to kind of clean up and get done. And I would also like to work on a project that we already finished but became undone for reasons unknown. So through here, the map wall, for some reason, has a few item frames missing from it. Not sure why, but it looks like I'm going to have to do a little bit of repair with that as well. But I'll do that one off camera. A lot of these little tasks are stuff that just are a bit monotonous that I want to do sort of off camera and kind of update you as we go here. But I don't want to keep you in the loop. So, do we have anything in these? No, I'm going to keep them for now. I was just checking that chest there, see if I had anything valuable to bring underground. At some point soon we are going to work on finishing up out here too. Possibly next episode, but we'll see. I'm not 100% sure yet. So I think the first thing I want to do is kind of get that corridor finished. Oh, actually, you know what? I have these carrots in my inventory and I actually have a reason for that. So, thus far, for the longest time in my series here, I've been living off baked potatoes. And what I would actually like to try, being as we have a gold farm now, and this is based off a suggestion put to me by my friend Mondo, to actually make golden carrots and see if it's going to be necessarily any better. So I'm going to try that. I have plenty of gold. I can get more gold if I need it. So let's go ahead and make some golden nuggets. And I believe you make them like this. Don't make these too often, so you'll have to forgive me if it's not quite right. And the carrots, there we go. So golden carrots, we'll see how they last. I have a place for nuggets. I guess I'll compress most of them though into ingots again. And we have the one nugget remaining. So I'm going to use up my baked potatoes first, and then we'll see how the golden carrots last. If they last a decent amount of time, then I will probably switch to them permanently. And my gold nuggets are over here. So, yes, I will be finally rid of you soon when I get around to putting in this glass floor today. So, the first thing, as I say, I would like to do is actually work on this here. So, in order to do that, I'm going to need some cyan dye. I have a bunch of hardened clay here, so that I could start and layer that in. I think I have some glowstone upstairs to make some redstone lamps with at some point. Now the question is, and I need to come over here to answer my question, is how did I have the staircase laid out here? Okay, so it was 3, and then the staircase was on the one below that. So let's come back over here and see what we got. So the stair would be that right there. So we need to do a little bit of work here as far as the stairs actually go. And probably going to have to go grab some more torches soon too. Oh, what is this? It's not really much of anything, so I'm not too worried. This is my sorting system. I'm getting these weird frame dips. I wonder if it's because my darkroom is on. That might be the reason behind that. So we arrive on this little landing here, and then I think we do something a little bit like this. Gosh, the moment I'm not here, they start spawning, and it drives me crazy. There's not an anvil there either. I'm gonna have to run around and put anvils in, it seems. So I think that should solve our problem a little bit. How do I have it over there? I'm gonna have to go get the slime now too. I have the corner, which is a 3x3, and then the stairs, and we have a height above that of 4 blocks above the actual stair zone. I'm actually going to run and get some stairs really quick and actually figure out this one so that we get it right. I don't want to have to undo a bunch of work at some point. So let me see here. I think I have some stairs lying around. Cobblestone stairs will do just fine. Yeah, got some of those. I do know I got the actual first part of the stairwell down. This part here. It's just this zone I'm not entirely, whoops, sure on. Because if I have stairs like that, we had a higher zone here. I think I had this carved out, and then this would go like that, I think. Yeah, I think that's right. We can begin to close this up soon too. So I think that that covers it. Let's try the stairs here. Just making sure I place them right. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's what I was going for with the other staircases that we have around. I would like things to be kind of consistent. Let's get rid of you for the time being and just put that in there. Just flop that torch down, not water. Oops. Right there. And now I can seal this up, hopefully. That's not going to block any redstone off. If I put something there, however, that will. Could be a problem. As, if I put a block there, basically what's going to happen is that redstone wire is going to get cut off. I don't want that. We need it to be not cut off. So I'm not sure how I'm going to quite solve that one yet. I'm going to have to think about that before I make any decision. So, in the meantime, however, let's finish up the stairs. I'll leave that there because I need light. Now I can actually dye this stained clay. Well, make this stained clay from the hardened clay. And then I should be able to go ahead and start work on tearing this out. Do I have any glowstone? Yeah, I have plenty. So I'll be able to make some lamps, get this really nice looking. I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do with that here too. So I guess I'm just going to start over here and start and clear out the walls. So guys, I've been keeping busy and I've finished the staircase, which was unfinished in the last clip you saw. And let's go take a look. So obviously I've not got the quartz still yet to put the staircase in, but I intend, in preparation for the next episode, to actually start and do that. Again, the room is full of slimes as always, but we're about to change that. And I have the supplies together now. I did go on a trip to the Mesa to actually make the glass floor, which is one of the things we still need to do. So I'm going to try and go ahead and get on with as much of this as I can, and hopefully we can get it done in good time here. Because I'm a little bit fed up of all the slimes all the time, and I think that it would be very beneficial to be able to finally get rid of that. And also just to complete the floor so that it looks a lot more acceptable and that kind of thing. Beyond that, the other thing I want to work on doing here is I would like to, hopefully, finish off the integration off camera for the farms that we already have built here. So that's stuff like the snow farm, for example, the vine farm, and stuff like that. Although I'm not sure if the vine farm is already connected, it may well be. But the farms that we've not yet connected, such as those, I'm going to try and connect to the storage system here. And if I could do that, that pretty much completes the storage system as is for this part. There is still another part to do, which is the bulk storage area, which I don't think we're going to look at today. This is all just cobblestone, it seems. So, probably next episode we might look at the bulk storage area, but we'll see. It depends how much time we've got after this episode. Well, after what I have planned for this episode to actually get stuff done. So, I'm going to see on that. So, what do we got up in here? We have a lot of cactus green dye. That's pretty good. I have all this hardened clay from the Mesa. I'm going to put a bunch of it in here for right now. Get another half a sack of slime balls. Yay. But I already have enough of those. Good. I do have my good shovel. So, I guess the first thing to do here is going to be... I need to get some lapis to make some dye so that I can make some cyan stained clay, which is going to go into the floor. So let's go ahead and do that. These golden carrots are probably a good move as far as food goes for a while. I may end up changing to something else again when I get a proper animal farm set up of some sort. Something along the lines of chicken or steak, that kind of thing. As they are kind of expensive to make, but they are a good food source. Like, that'll probably last for a while, providing I don't take damage. That's the only thing that probably makes these less valuable, is the fact that you can't really take a lot of damage with them, as they kind of become a bit useless at that point. There's really no difference to baked potatoes because of the saturation change, which, regardless of what my opinion on the saturation change is not going to change, so we're just going to have to deal with that curveball and sort of move on, I guess. So, let's see here. We have the dye, and I surround it like that. And let's go ahead and let's just make a couple of stacks for now, while we work out what we're doing here. So, what I think I want to do is I want to tear out the whole floor, get it down a level. That's the first thing I want to do. I think my dark room's still on, which is why my frame rate is taking a few hits here. And what I would like to do is actually add clay around the edge here, and then in the bottom as well. So that's going to be the plan here, to first clear it out and then add the hardened clay in, and then what I could do after that is think about the lamps that I'm going to put in here, as well as the stained glass, and tear down my equipment and so on and so forth from whatever I was doing before. I'm not going to worry about replicating the torch grid, as it's really not that important now, because we're actually dealing with the floor. So let's get cracking on tearing out the floor, and then we will be back to start work on actually designing this. So, back in a minute. Well, there's the room cleared out completely, and we can now start work on our actual design here for what we want to do with the floor. So, I've just threw a few torches down here and there to kind of minimize the mob spawning, but it's not a big problem. So as you can see, everything's still floating right now. I've not got that far. So I'm thinking the first thing we need to do is sort of replace this area here with cyan clay. And also the floor too. Like so. And then the stained glass will sit on this layer here. And we'll probably do a pattern like we did on the floor above. That's what I'm thinking for right now. So the next thing to do will definitely be to get all of this changed, and that will probably take a little bit longer than just clearing it out would do. So I'm going to go ahead and get on with that now, and hopefully in a little while, oh hello, we should be able to start work on the glass floor part, which is going to be quite nice looking, I hope. So I'm going to get to work on getting the cyan stained clay in the floor here, and then I'll be back once I've completed that. Okay guys, so downstairs has now been completed as far as the stained clay goes, and we're now going to start work on the glass floor. So here it is, looking pretty good, and I've brought some glass with us now so that we can mess around with the design here. And I'm thinking I want to do the squares I did on the floor above. I don't really see too much of a reason to dramatically change from what we were doing, so let's go ahead and make some stained glass. And I'm probably going to need to find where my silk touch pick is at. Possibly. It might be in my ender chest. If it's not, then I'm not entirely sure where it is, to be honest. There it is. Although that does leave the question, where is my fortune pick at? But I'll worry about that one later. So let's eat some food, and let's figure out what we want to do here. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Maybe something a little bit like that. You can't place torches on these, but that's fine because I'm going to have redstone lamps sort of integrated around and about in this room here. And maybe if we did a 4x4 possibly there. Yeah, I like it. We're starting to get a pattern together here now. And then we could do a one on its own there. And maybe another 3x3 possibly. Possibly another 2x2 over here. Something like that maybe. And then right in here we could make a 5x5. That would fit quite nicely in here. Is that 4x5? That looks pretty cool. And we're starting to get a design here together, which is what I'm looking for. So now let's make some cyan stained glass and let's try and see what these two look like together, because I've never really built with these together before. It's not a combination that I see many people using often either, so yeah, I'd say that works. That definitely works. Obviously, we're going to have to figure out the lighting situation, of course, but I'm thinking I'm going to do similar things to what I did before, where I just kind of randomly scatter them around in places that just make sense, honestly. So, definitely making sense here. Let's try and surround some of these and see what it looks like. I'd say it looks pretty good, honestly. The orange stands out rather nicely. I do not have any redstone lamps on me at the moment, but I'll probably go and get some as I work further into designing the floor here. But I think we're in pretty good shape now. I think that we are finally making some sense out of this. Could do a 4x4 right here. Although I try and aim for a 2 around the edge, but it might be good to vary it up a little bit, possibly. I kind of like the randomness that I can integrate in these patterns here. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Probably in here we want a smaller one to kind of make it fit and sort of keep with the pattern. And then maybe over here have a 2x2 again. Maybe one on its own there. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to move him a little bit to probably there. And over here we already kind of have the 2. But we could definitely integrate maybe another 4 over here. Bit like that. And then over in front we could make a 3x3 if I'm going to have enough glass. Yep. And it's just kind of building up this pattern really and getting an idea of what it looks like and then trying to vary it up where possible. And I think that we're doing a good job of that. Now this is going to be some tedious business, so I'm going to go ahead and get on with this off camera and then come back when I have made some more progress. So let's get to work.